Short Story 128, The Interview, Chapter 4. The situation looked bleak. Lucas and his reinforcements blocked their only escape route. Maya and Mr. Blackwood exchanged a desperate glance. Edgar, ever the silent guardian, took a menacing step forward, his hand resting on the hilt of his knife. "Edgar," Mr. Blackwood cautioned, "don't be rash." "There's another way," Maya gasped, a risky plan forming in her mind. She remembered the desolate train station and the single rickety track leading deeper into the wilderness. "The train!" she yelled, pointing towards the direction they had arrived. Lucas scoffed. "There's no train at this hour. It's a ghost story for gullible passengers." Maya ignored his mockery. "There might not be a scheduled train," she encountered, "but maybe we can hotwire the engine and get it moving." It was a long shot, but desperation fueled her creativity. Mr. Blackwood's eyes widened. "It's a crazy idea, but it might be our only chance." Without further debate, they sprinted towards the train station, adrenaline pumping through their veins. Edgar, surprisingly agile for his size, followed close behind. Lucas and his men hesitated for a moment, thrown off guard by Maya's sudden outburst. By the time they reacted, Maya and her companions were already scrambling into the rickety train carriage. The interior was dusty and cobweb-filled, an abandoned relic from a bygone era. Maya scanned the control panel, her fingers brushing against rusty levers and flickering gauges. Mr. Blackwood, surprisingly knowledgeable about mechanics, joined in the effort. "There!" he exclaimed, pointing at a worn-out instruction manual tucked away in a dusty corner. With bated breath they deciphered the complex diagram, sweat beading on their foreheads. Time seemed to stretch as they worked, the sounds of Lucas and his men approaching echoing through the deserted station. Finally, with a triumphant cry, Mr. Blackwood flipped a switch. The engine lurched to life, coughing and spluttering like an awakened beast. A guttural roar from outside confirmed their worst fears. Lucas and his men had arrived. Maya threw open the carriage door, adrenaline masking the fear threatening to consume her. "Get in!" she yelled, ushering Mr. Blackwood and Edgar inside. As they scrambled in, Lucas lunged at them, his face contorted with rage. With a final heave, Maya slammed the door shut. Mr. Blackwood wrestled the rusty throttle and the train lurched forward, gaining speed with a deafening screech. They leaned against the window, watching as Lucas and his men grew smaller in the distance, their frustrated shouts swallowed by the wind. The train rumbled along the rickety track, its destination unknown. Relief washed over Maya, replaced by a bone-deep exhaustion. They had escaped for now, but the journey had just begun. Now they had to figure out where this runaway train was taking them and how to get the manuscript, the key to exposing the truth, into the right hands. The interview may be over, but Maya's story as a reluctant heroine had just taken a thrilling turn. To be continued. Vocabulary notes. Ethereal, delicate and beautiful in a strange way. Example, the sun peeked through the dense forest canopy, casting an ethereal glow on the dusty interior. Deserted, empty of people. Example, the town seemed eerily quiet, devoid of any sign of life. Weathered, damaged or worn by the effects of weather. Example, a weathered-looking woman with a wary glint in her eyes. Treacherous, dangerous and difficult to deal with. Example, their trek up the mountain was arduous, the path overgrown and treacherous. Decrepit, in a very poor condition. Example, the old radio transmitter stood there, a decrepit monument to a bygone era. Crackle, a series of sharp, snapping sounds. Example, with a crackle of static, the transmitter sputtered into life. Story written by Google Bard AI. Image created by desgo.com AI. Hello, this is Steve. If you enjoyed the story, please would you take the time to leave a meaningful comment and click on the like icon. If you want to know when the next story has been uploaded, please click on the notify bell icon to be notified. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and tell your English learning friends so they can benefit too. Thank you.